Hey folks, welcome back to another one of my beer reviews. Been about a week. What a heck of a hectic week it has been. But without further ado, it's time for another beer review. Today I'm going to be doing an Imperial Stout. As I mentioned before, I like dark beers. So stouts, black IPAs, which Garrison's supposed to be releasing one soon, which I'm hoping to review. But, you know, stouts, black IPAs, porters, things like that are usually my style. Well, today I wanted to review a Russian Imperial Stout that, frankly, a lot of people tend to really love, and I'd be one of them. I can only get it in 4-packs, which is unfortunate, but today I am going to be reviewing from North Coast Brewing, Old Rasputin. Old Rasputin. North Coast Brewing also makes another one called Number 38 Stout, which I haven't seen for a while, but I used to enjoy that one too. That one reminded me a lot of Guinness, just a little more flavor. Now, being an Imperial Stout, this is going to have a very high ABV, 9% actually. And let's see here. Brewed in the tradition of the 18th century English brewers who supplied the Russian court of Catherine the Great, Old Rasputin develops a cult following wherever it goes. It's a rich, intense brew with big, complex flavors and a warming finish. Sure. What I really like about it is I don't get to see these bottles very often. It's this small, little bottle. It used to be that a lot of beer bottles around here, anyway, I'm not sure if it was like this in the States or elsewhere in the world, but a lot of them around here in Canada used to be these little stubs, and while this isn't quite a stub, it's still fairly long neck. It's very close to it, so I really like that bottle. Well, without further ado, let's just get my trusty bottle opener. And I've had more requests for this lately to show the caps, so yeah, here you guys go. This is the cap. Not much really to it. There you go. Again, I don't usually save the caps. I know some people like to, but I'm not one of them. Now, today I'm going to be using an interesting glass for this. Certainly probably not what's recommended. This is my Nigra Modelo glass. And when I say it's actually my roommate's glass that they're letting me use, since the majority of mine are currently in the washing machine. Dishwasher, whatever. No, I have not had a few already. What can I tell you about this beer? Well, I've already had several, so not tonight, but I've had several before this, so there's not really much to say other than it is one of those specialty beers that I get from California. It's right up there with the Rogue beers and Les Dieux du Ciel beers that I get, like Péché Mortel. Oh, I might be able to get the whole thing. No. Too bad. That would have been cool if I could have. Almost got the whole bottle in there. So, appearance of this beer, and I can already smell it from here, honestly. This is pitch black. And I can hold it up to some light. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that, but I don't even see any. Normally with Guinness or with several stouts, you'll see a reddish tinge to them. That's because a lot of stouts aren't actually black. They're actually a really, really dark ruby red. That's usually from the roasted malts. Unfortunately, people get the habit of thinking that it's pitch black. It's not. Though I can see why it does look it. The head's barely anything to speak of. It was actually very, very soapy and dissipated very quickly. That's probably just because of the glass I'm using. Normally I've gotten about a 1-finger head, but it usually doesn't last long with it. Now let's go to the smell here. Wow. It has a very strong smell. I don't smell alcohol. That's the thing I love about this. Despite it having a higher than normal alcohol content, I don't smell it. What I do smell, I get a lot of chocolate and coffee notes up front, but particularly the chocolate, it's very, very strong and hitting in the nose. The coffee, and if you ever smelled like Guinness, you'll know what I mean by the roasted malt smell. It's there, but both are much more subdued to the chocolate. I think I'm getting some floral. No, it's not floral. Sorry. Whatever that is, there's another scent underneath it, but it's extremely overpowered. Yeah, that'd be very hard. Place it. Oh well. Well, Cheers, folks, and another little tidbit for you. Imperial Stouts normally, this doesn't, drink a beer however you want to drink it, folks. That's my motto. Imperial Stouts should generally be two things. One, they should be generally kept a bit warmer than your average beer. So go ahead and put it in the fridge, I mean, obviously, but you do want to generally leave them out of the fridge for about 15 to 20, depending, to let them warm up. This one particularly has been out for about 20 minutes, so it should be in about that 55 Fahrenheit range, which is, I don't know, I think that's around, what, 12 Celsius? You just want them cool. You don't want them cold. The colder a stout is, or the colder an Imperial Stout is especially, the less flavor you'll get. That's the number one thing to remember. The other thing is, Imperial Stouts, again, this varies. So this could be stout, porter. Mainly what you want to do is always check your alcohol content on your bottle. This is 9%, and like I said, I've had this before. This is meant to be drank slowly. I'm not going to say sipped because it's a beer. I wouldn't sip the beer. That's me personally. Some of you might want to. I recommend though you drink it slowly so you can get all the flavors and enjoy. Well, cheers, folks. Oh, that is damn near perfect. It delivers what it says on the bottle. It's a very rich drinking beer. The texture, when it hits your mouth, is very creamy, very rich. Nowhere near as creamy as if there was a nitrogen in it, but if there was, it would be even creamier than that. Very, very smooth to drink. Very, 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 very pleasant on the tongue. I am getting a lot, it's a complex beer. There's a lot of chocolate flavors in there. Again, that bitter chocolate that you get from a baker. So I'm getting bitter chocolate flavor. I'm getting some coffee flavored in there from the roasted malts likely. But I'm also getting a little bit of hops in there. Now, I'm finding it very subdued, but it is in there. And honestly, this is one of those times where I am surprised that it is so well balanced, because with the high alcohol content, I would expect to get some of that right up front, and I'm not getting any right up front. So, nothing right up front, not even afterwards, I'm not getting alcohol. Now, if you were to take a really big gulp of this, or drink it fast, yeah, you would definitely notice the high alcohol content, but if you drink it slow, you don't get it. And in any case, I'm really not getting a high alcohol. I'm not thinking it tastes boozy at all. It was very well done. The aftertaste is like a bitter chocolate candy, or like a coffee candy. You know, you get that little bit of chocolate, but then you get all that coffee flavor. Just a little heavier on the chocolate this time. At least that's, I find I get that a lot with stouts, and maybe that's just my taste buds, but I find I pick up very much on when there's chocolate in there. And I think I'm getting a little bit of the hop bite as well on the finish, because I'm definitely getting a bite. It's not unpleasant, it's not bitter, it's there though. To somebody that's not familiar with this one, it might be bitter tasting. I'm not finding it at all bitter. I'm finding it extremely well balanced. Goes down very smooth, and I am getting that little warming sensation that they're talking about. If you're not used to a higher alcohol beer, you're going to notice it more than I am. At this point, I've had a few that are very high alcohol. This one's really not affecting me yet. Give me another one of these, I'd probably be drunk out of my mind. Oh, that's just a fantastic beer. Alright, folks, that was Old Rasputin Russian Imperial Stout. This is actually one of my personal favorites, and I have no choice but to give this a 9 out of 10. It is that freaking good. So I recommend, if you can get it, pick up Old Rasputin from North Coast Brewing. 9 out of 10, folks. Cheers and enjoy.